Right, just about 10 to 15 minutes ago, the Executive Mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, announcing his new Mayoral Committee. Let's discuss this now with Dr Ntsikelelo Breakfast, who is a political analyst. Dr. Breakfast, good afternoon. Thanks indeed for your time. So we see a bit of a shift around. Margaret Arnold's Finance, MMC, Housing, Anthea Leach, Economic Development, Nomoya Mnisi, and others, of course. What do you make of the makeup of this Mayoral Committee? We saw the mayor start off by wanting to paint a picture of members of a Mayoral Committee that are there based on their skills.
Griselda, there are two reasons that give rise to coalition formations or power sharing. The first reason is lack of majoritarianism. The second reason is political fragmentation. So coalition formations by nature don't make room for one political party to impose its agenda. No wonder the ANC is not dominant in that executive or mayoral committee. And I think that is one of the strong points of power sharing. Because it makes room for consultation across the political spectrum. But I think the challenge is going to be surrounding the issue of budget, because one of the coalition partners is Action SA, that believes in market fundamentalism or the free market system. On the other hand, the ANC believes in state-led kind of like a government. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to manage those contradictions. But I think it's still early days, and it's hard to tell at the moment which way the wind is blowing. But it must be noted that, Griselda, when one looks at coalition formations, they've been unworkable and unstable.
Well, you know, from much of the analysis of Dr. Breakfast, you know, that we've spoken about even post the local government elections, you know, many analysts have said that South Africa looks set to continue on this trajectory of, you know, having coalition governments as a result of the performance of the African National Congress. What are we likely to see here be the greater challenges for this members of this Mayoral Committee? Because Dada Morero himself comes into a position where there are many challenges that are facing the city of Johannesburg. Smack in the face already is the issue of water shedding that is taking place, which he has also acknowledged in this press conference that he had a few moments ago.
Yes, Griselda, the ANC was dealt with a blow last year with regard to the democratic outcomes of local government. No wonder it failed to, you know, get above 50% even in Johannesburg or throughout the length and the breadth of the country. Secondly, the city of Johannesburg has a history of violent service delivery protest, largely because of corruption, which is caused by the ANC most of the time, and also because of lack of responsiveness of the political elite and public officials, and also maybe because of the wrong model of development that has been employed by the ANC in particular since, I would say, 1995. So the ANC needs to make sure that it takes a golden opportunity of this privilege that it has been given to lead this coalition formation.
Dr. Breakfast, let's look at some of the developments as well over the past 48 hours. We also saw the Premier Panyaza Lesufi announce his executive getting rid of Park Stow and the former health MEC. That particular portfolio has certainly been in the spotlight, in particular because of the level of corruption that we saw that had dogged, you know, COVID-19, the assassination of Babita Deokaran. That was a portfolio also that was being very closely monitored to see what Lesufi would do about that particular contentious portfolio. Talk to me first of all about the exclusion of Park Stow and the now former health MEC.
Griselda, I think there is more to this executive than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Because I get the sense that the Adiwele faction, they have outmaneuvered, the faction of Lusufi by pushing him to ascend to the helm of premiership, so that he can make a way for them to run the administration of the party. So this new composition of the executive has nothing to do with issues of development, fighting against poverty and so on. I think it's a political strategy to make room for the Adiwele faction at the level of PEC to outmaneuver the other faction. And secondly, the current administration, they've got only 18 months. There is no way they can achieve all those things that Lusufi spoke about yesterday when he made his speech.
And Dr. Breakfast, before we run out of time, I want to talk about that. How much of a headache does that create for Premier Lusufi, in that he would need all the support in order to map out these grand plans that he has, yet from what I'm hearing from you, the upper hand here certainly does go to the Adiwele faction, as you say, and basically he's going to need the support of this team in order to carry out anything or to aspire any confidence in the people of Gauteng, because some would say placing Lusufi in this particular position, the ANC is hoping will make some change ahead of the elections that are upcoming.
Griselda, I think achieving all those things is a mission impossible. There is no way whatsoever he can get the job done, even if he works with his team, because he's only left with 18 months. But the ANC has a lot to lose, Griselda, because, by and large, the electorate of Gauteng is, different. Gauteng doesn't have rural areas, so people don't vote in relation to party loyalty. They vote in relation to whether the party can get the job done or not.
Yeah.
So having the ANC losing power in the upcoming elections is not a mission impossible if it doesn't do well at the moment.
Yeah, let's take a look at Ekurhuleni as well. As we wrap up, the replacement of 2 MMCs from the Patriotic Alliance there, to reasons being to strengthen service delivery. What do you make of that?
I'm sensing a danger in that regard, Griselda, because the wave of change in so far as coalition formations are concerned might also hit that part of the world.
So what we saw in Johannesburg, Dr. Breakfast, we're likely to see in Ekurhuleni, possible?
Yes, I suspect that there might be a change of government there soon, because other political parties that are in partnership with the DA are unhappy about the way things are, and I suspect that they might pull out from those arrangements.
Dr. Breakfast, just in the nick of time, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the program. Of course, giving us some analysis on the announcement of members of the Mayoral Committee by the Johannesburg Mayor, Dada Morero, mentioning a few changes here and there. Of course, him saying that the skill set that was based, or the decision or the announcement that he's made is based on a skill set and based on bolstering service delivery. Dr. Ntsikelelo Breakfast, thank you very much